This is Uganda. Tetulwana na government twagala bwenkanya mulekewo banka ezitukiriza amateeka etufiiridwa ekimala Hamis ya bitu wafenna banna Uganda sente bwe zinatwalibwa Kenya oba eyindi oba luddawa z'abanna Uganda muteekewo obwenkanya Kooti tubasaba tetwagala kwekalakasa twagala obwenkanya munna Uganda munnafafibwa banka bweba tetaddewo banka ebeerawo etya mu ggwanga nga terina license tusigala nga tukyakola nayo
ate nga bakwata abatembeeyi ababeera wano nga babagamba nti abatembeeyi tebalina license musiba bannayuganda muzeeyi Kalugire mutuyambe si buli awasa nti omwana wa pulezidenti timujja kukola ebyo ebyekisiru mukwata bannayuganda abatembeeyi obutaba na license ate kati DTB terina license ate ogiwolereza kiri owakiwanuka n'okola ebyo joli just kiwanuka jjajjawo bamutya kiki yalwanirira Uganda
twagala obwenkanya
Kalugire n'okola ekyo
bajaji mubeeyo mukole obwenkanya mu nsonga eno tubasaba
tetujja kukola kututta tumalawo musiiba mutusiba naye muwolereza bayindi
judiciary yonna ebeeyo ku kintu kino sente si za Hamis sente zaffe za
Uganda. You are doing a disservice to this Uganda. Kalugire, you are doing a disservice. You are doing a disservice to this Uganda.
Tukusaba mube mu bintu by'ekiyayi nga waliyo abantu abaana n'ebyana olaba ow'edduuka bamugalira mutasasudde license olaba omutembeeyi bamukwata nti talina license ate DTB eyajja nga investor ng'ate tesasula license netudda mu Kooti
Yarwanirire eggwanga lino musiba mukwata abatembeyi wano nga tebalina layisinsi naye abayindi bazze muno bakoze bizinesi balina layisinsi ate mutwasamira Karugire oba mututta mugenda kututta musaaga guno omusango hamu musaaga musiba abaana wano nga tebalina layisinsi nnaku nnyo bw'aba Hamis Kigunddu n'emirimu gy'awadde bannayuganda asobola okufutyankibwa ate omuntu omunaku asookerwako ekyokubiri
fenga abasuubuzi era bannayuganda tetugenda kukkiriza kwatwala byedda kooti gyeraga kooti olwedde eri biased kooti eri mu feva y'abayindi judgment lwaki bagiwisaawo bagamba kino bannayuganda twetaaga obwenkanya
atalabayo si Karugire bwe bakutyanka omusango guno tugenda kugamba bannayuganda bonna abatembeeyi teri agenda kuddamu kusasula layisinsi singa abasuubuzi mwenna this financial year singa bakutyanka omusango gwa hamu buli munnayuganda tagenda kuddamu kusasula mu layisinsi teriyo bamazima zikyasaaga teriyo oyagala kutandika bizinesi jangu otandike towetaaga layisinsi kubanga abafeere babbirawo bakola nga tebalina layisinsi tosasula layisinsi
Tudde bweru we kooti twogere ensonga zaffe kubanga kooti era gye tusabe malirize ensonga eyo. Kooti yammwe mugisigaze tulina buzibu era tugibalekedde.
Is representing the three and himself. Yes. The 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then for the respondent, we have the executive director, Madam Babazi K. Emito. Of the first respondent, which is in force. KMJ. Biceps. That is the representation.
That's for the passing family.
It represents both respondents. My Lord, we are here in response to an invitation for a pre-hearing conference on that application. And we are ready to receive directions and also respond to those directions of how to handle the matter. But we've been served with a form which is giving proposed timelines for filing meetings. I don't know if we can respond to this directly. Okay.
My Lord, if I may, my Lord, it's our position that this application has been overtaken by events and is superfluous. My Lord, the appeal number 13, 2021, from which this application arises, came up on 12th of November 2021, when the parties adopted their written submissions and also highlighted on 12th of November 2021, when the parties adopted the written submissions that had been earlier filed. We also highlighted their arguments. On that day, the court retired to make its judgment.
What was the quorum?
My Lord, the quorum at the time was Justice Owini Dolo, the Chief Justice, Justice Mwanda, Justice Raisi, Justice Chibita, and the late Justice Opiwa Wemu. My Lord, on the 5th of May, 2023, Yes, my Lord. On the 5th of May 2023, we again appeared before this court, my Lord, for reconstitution of the panel following the unfortunate death of the Justice Opiwa Wemu. My Lord, during that appearance, the parties again adopted written submissions and the highlights that were made on 12th, 2021 before the new panel. And in the new panel, my Lord, Justice Musota replaced the late Justice Opiwa Wemu. My Lord, during the proceedings, as the record will show, counsel for the applicants, after the adoption of the written submissions, was asked by the court, do you have anything to add? And the response unequivocally was, and I quote, my Lord, that is the position. For the appellants, we have nothing else to add.
So they said, what was the position?
Yes, my Lord, and that they had nothing further to add. My Lord, the application that we seek to schedule today is an application that was filed after the submissions have been made by the respondent. So both the appellant and respondent had made their submissions. That's when this application was filed.
They had been filed.
They had been filed. And my Lord, the respondents had an opportunity to respond to the submissions of the respondents. So they had the right of reply which they exercised. So in effect, my lord, this application for judgment on admission is an application for judgment as we await judgment. So it is really superfluous and is only intended to waste the time of this court, as for all intents and purposes we are waiting for the exact same thing that they seek to apply for judgment. If there are any admissions that we believe were made in the submissions of the parties, and have responded to them as such. My Lord, we therefore our prayer is that this application should be struck off or forwarded to the panel to deal with as they break the judgment in this matter. And it's our opinion that it therefore abates given the circumstances we have raised. In the alternative, where if the court is of a different view, we are available to take the directions of this court in this application. This will pray, my Lord.
Hearing for purposes of case management, we have not come to hear the merits of the application which we have come to fix. And in any case, my Lord, this application is to be heard before the panel. It's the one seized with jurisdiction to entertain objections or things like that, which we think the respondent is entitled to make, and we can every respond in the proper forum. Having said that, my Lord, I just want to give a small background that the application was filed, yes, after the last session when the matter was reserved for judgment. It was filed on the 23rd of November 2021. 2021. That is 1 year and a half now. And the application arises from the pleadings, the submissions that were filed by the respondent. From the written submissions. We could not have filed this application. We could not have known that the respondent is admitting the appeal at the time when we were in court, because we received the submissions later. So when we received them, that's when we then applied to apply for admission.
You're saying that when you appeared before the panel, which included this appeal, you did not file.
No, there were submissions. The court directed parties when we appeared, because the respondent was raising certain new grounds. And if you look at the record, you will see that there was a tug of war in the court on whether. Yes.
Not part of the panel.
Yes, my Lord. I'm just giving court some context.
So when you received the submission.
So when we received the submissions is when we realized that they had admitted the appeal. And
okay, what I want to know is that when you appeared in the first panel, which included justice appeal.
yes.
Were the submissions
There were some submissions, but they had also requested to submit on some additional issues or grounds, which we are also allowed to respond to. So in that process,
that was after.
That was
after court, after you
appeared. During the hearing, they made a request, as the record will show, to submit on foreign lending. Okay, and so there were arguments there, and we also made our submissions in response. But having,
My Lord, if I may assist my colleague on recollection, on the 12th of May, all the written submissions have been filed, including the issue of 12th of November 2021. All the submissions have been filed, and we're just there to adopt them and highlight areas. And this included that ground which we were given leave to address, the ground of illegality. So we were being given leave prior to and given a schedule for submissions if we met. So there was nothing new that came up on the 12th of November 2021.
the point anyway is that a party can apply for judgment on admission anytime before judgment. We don't have a judgment in this matter. So those are arguments we can make subsequently. However, when we received the notice for the hearing of the appeal, reconstitution of the panel, we did write to court. We wrote to the court on the 2nd of May 2023, and we observed that we have been called for the reconstitution, but we have a pending application for judgment. And the court
application came in after the first hearing.
Immediately after, when we perused the submission, we filed the application. Because under Order 13.6, a party can apply for judgment on admission at any time for judgment. So that's why we filed the application. And we brought it to the attention of the court and the reconstitution of the panel. We wrote a letter and requested our pending application for judgment be fixed. And the court wrote back to us and said that at the reconstitution of the panel, the court will only deal with the issue of reconstitution of the panel. It will not hear the application. And the court advised. The letter is dated 2nd May from the registrar of the court. The civil appeal. Yes. The constitution session. That is from the registrar. Because we followed up. In other words, I'm trying to show you that the applicants are interested in this hearing of this application, and we've been following up for the last 1.5 years, trying to remind, and then the court was saying it was not ready. So, as far as we are concerned, my Lord, we can receive directions on how to receive this application. Whether it has merit or not is something that we considered, and we can respond to it. I think that is what has brought us here.
Okay.
My Lord, the correspondence, I'm surprised.
Just 1 minute, don't go into.
Yes, my Lord, just to mention that we were never served with this copy of the letter from the registrar.
The letter?
Yes, my Lord. It was never, which is odd.
I can see it was not copied.
It was not copied to us and not served to us. So I can't comment on comments of the letter that we did not receive. Clearly, whatever was communicated was only intended for the appellant, which is surprising because we have two parties in the ring. My Lord, in terms of what transpired on 5th of May, when we last appeared in the 2023 reconstitution, the parties were clearly asked, is there anything to add? And the record would show. The respondent said there was nothing, so did the appellants. So we should all be satisfied that the judgment is being written. If there are any admissions that were made in the submissions, we have a full Supreme Court bench. I don't think we can, the admissions will go unseen. So we pray, we reiterate our prayers, my Lord.
When actually the judgment is ready, the judgment in the main matter is ready, I'm told. I'm not part of the panel, but it's ready. I talked to the head of the panel, who has advised me that they are ready to deliver the judgment next week on Tuesday. Tuesday will be 13th June. The judgment is ready with the main appeal. It's to be delivered. Nothing is going to stop the delivery. Now, you want to say something? Just listen. The head of panel says that when they came up with the first hearing where Justice Sophia Well was, okay, you said you had not filed the application.
Yes.
Yeah, but okay, later on, at the reconstitution, they asked, actually, just like Council Kigunddu said, the court asked whether you had anything to say. You said you did not have anything to say until the record states that, and that you are just waiting for the judgment. And in any case, if you have those issues which you think should be considered as admission, were they part of the written submissions? Wait, let me finish. I'm sure they were part of the submissions, and I'm sure you responded to them. Unless you're saying that you did not respond to them in your written submissions. But when you were asked whether you had anything to add, you said you did not have anything. That is on the reconstitution date. You did not have anything to add, and you were just waiting for the judgment. And the panel went ahead and prepared the judgment based on whatever they had. I'm sure the points you're raising here were all points that were raised in their submissions, and you think they should admit to them. Yeah? But you think that maybe it should be in another procedure. But I'm sure they are considering them in their judgment. I don't know what their judgment is because I'm not part of the panel, but the head of the panel says the judgment is ready. It's to be delivered on Tuesday. And whatever you're bringing in now is actually, you didn't mention it at the reconstitution stage when they asked you whether you had anything to add. And I don't know whether you think it will add much to what the panel will consider in their judgment. And okay, before I say my decision, maybe you can.
My Lord, and I need to say this. Why would the court call us for pre-hearing to determine filing and format? I mean, we wouldn't even be listed if the court has taken the position that this matter is already just waiting for judgment. The reason the court put us on the list as number one for pre-hearing is because the court recognizes that for 1.5 years it has been sitting with an application of a litigant which has not been fixed. For 1.5 years. Now we're talking of 5 days to Tuesday. But for 1.5 years, this court had our application, didn't fix it, and we are entitled to be heard. Whether we have made it or not, we are entitled to appear before the panel. We are now hearing the panel's views, not from the panel, but from a member of the court. And we think we are entitled to be heard by the panel, whether we make sense or not. This is our right. So, my view is that having been guided for the proceedings of the 5th May that don't talk about anything else, is only reconstitution. We came to the court as diligent litigants. We wanted to raise this issue of the application because, after all, the practice of the court is applications will be heard and disposed of first if they can actually resolve the whole matter, because the courts are breaking down because of so many judgments and cases. So, for us, all we are saying, let us appear before the panel. Let us appear before the panel. It's our right, as applicants, as appellants, let's appear before the panel. The issues of whether or not the matters raised in our application are going to be considered in the judgment, these issues were considered. The reason why we filed the application separately is because our submissions, and right now I cannot recall, but the reason was they were not canvassed. This issue of the judgment was not canvassed. And it's our duty as officers of this court, as parties in proceedings in court, to bring to the attention of the court quickly that there is something admitted, so that judicial time is not wasted to write judgments and so on if something is admitted. So therefore, my Lord, our prayer is let the court follow its procedure, which is come for prayer hearing, fix our application, and then a decision can be made. So that's our position.
You said you wanted to save judicial time. You've already spent the judicial time. You're writing the judgment. You wanted to help them to see where people are admitted. But they look at everything.
My Lord, we protest. We protest the manner in which the court has handled us, because we have filed an application in this court for 1.5 years. We have not been heard. And now we're being told
Mr. Mulma, just listen. You say
yes.
Okay. You say you wanted to save judicial time. To save the judicial time. So that you point out what has been admitted and what has not been admitted. Unless you're saying that they brought out new points in their written submissions, which you are saying they should not consider. But otherwise, if you just wanted to save on judicial time, so that is really, you've not done that, because they've already spent judicial time. Their judgment is ready, please. So, and I'm sure they've considered everything.
My Lord, they have not. That's why we filed the application.
They have not.
They have. That's why we filed the application. When we were doing the submissions, my Lord, we were strictly dealing with the grounds. This issue of admission comes later when they file their submissions. And then at that point, we realize that actually there is an admission and we need to save court's time. So the proceedings of fifth, my Lord, the proceedings of fifth that my colleague is talking about, that we say we have nothing more to say, having been guided that the court will only deal with reconstitution, we were not expected to raise issues of the application. Besides, it was filed in the court.
They
it was
asked
filed.
whether you had anything else to say. You said you did not. You did not raise the issue of the application.
No. The application was in court, my Lord. I don't validate an application because I've spoken about it. I validate it when I file it. And you had called me for the constitution. And you called me today for a pre-hearing. If there was a judgment, I didn't need to be called here. I could just receive the judgment.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe I wasted your time calling you because I had
no. My Lord, we protest.
I had not told you.
We need to see the head of panel. We protest this.
You can protest.
It's not fair.
This can be referred to.
Yes, let's go and see the head of the party. We can't allow this.
Because it's Tuesday.
No, we shall go and see him. We shall look for him.
Where are you? No.
My Lord, this will not end here. We are not going to accept that a party can be muzzled for 1.5 years. We are not heard, and then we are told all of a sudden the judgment. No, this will not happen. We object in the strongest terms. This is muzzling. We shall not accept this. Hear us and dismiss the application. We are saying we want to be interested in what we are saying. We are saying the party has admitted this is the routine application. What is going on here?